And what's this? SpongeBob costume. That's funny. That is funny. Oh no, I thought that's where B was, so please do not actually buy it. Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to a bit of a different video where I thought it would be fun to go through the entirety of the Xbox 360 store and see what games are available before they disappear forever in just a few months when that marketplace closes down. To prepare for this video, I went and got one of those prepaid Xbox 360 cards, and I tried to enter it on the 360 itself because there's a place where you can do that. However, it wasn't working, so I had to go online and enter it that way. But just know that you still can buy those cards and get that money onto the 360 if that's something you wish to do. Who wants to put their credit card on all these different things? But let's go to the games here. I guess we can do like an A to Z sort of deal. Actually, that's probably like the games that we have. So growing up, I never personally owned a 360, but all of my friends had one before eventually getting the PS3, which was what I bought. I was the first person to buy a PS3 out of my friends, and then eventually they all ended up moving over to that by the end of the generation as well. But I have a really fond nostalgia for like the Blades dashboard and just the 360 overall because I played it a lot at other people's houses, even if it wasn't a console I actually owned growing up. This is an Xbox 360 Slim I picked up later on, and definitely want to fill it with some of those games that might not be accessible in the future. So where do we go here? Where do we go? I think we go like over here. I think this, there you go, the arcade. This is the A to Z that we're looking for. Okay, maybe it was always just, maybe it was the same. I saw 27 up there and thought that was like the games on the hard drive. But no, it was probably just the games, or rather the letters all along. So let's dive right in and have a look. I really want any suggestions down in the comments on things that you personally enjoy. Definitely, I'll be coming back to this. I have $50, like I said, in there right now. And there's definitely a few purchases we're going to make along the way of some games I'm really looking forward to playing on the channel at a future point, probably live streaming them. But okay, let's see. Like 0D. Interesting. So 1942 Joint Strike. I remember this was a game that released on 360 and PS3, and as a huge fan of like the classic 1942, 1943 arcade games, it was something I really wanted to play. And then when I got my PS3, I was able to get it on that. So no need to repurchase it here, although I need to be really careful because of the position of the buttons on the Xbox 360 controller. Okay, yeah, A is the bottom one. Nintendo screwed that up so bad when they put the A button on the right and the B button down. It just has messed up gaming. Set gaming back like millennia is their silly mistake. But okay, that's the numbers. We're getting through this rather quick. We got a whole bunch of kingdoms, World of Keflings, Aces of the Galaxy. What is that? Is that like a shmup? I get the feeling it's not a shmup. It doesn't give me like shmuppy vibes. Can you view the gallery? Yeah, I see kind of try and get a vibe for what it is. I have no idea what exactly kind of game this is that, based on the screenshots, like a third-person shooter sort of deal? I guess so. If you're looking for like Star Fox on the 360, maybe that's a good one. What else have we got on here? Lots of Alien Breed. All three of them. It looks like Alien Hominoid. Who remembers Newgrounds? I don't. I never went on that website. So yeah, there's a lot of like retro games on the 360 marketplace as well, like Altered Beast and such. I recently did a little bit of shopping, physical shopping for Xbox 360 games, and a couple I came across were like a Dreamcast collection and like a Konami arcade collection. I was like, wow, those are so cool. Unfortunately, those are probably the kind of games that are going to become really expensive once the Xbox 360 marketplace closes down and you can't buy them through here. I think that's what those were. Those were like compilations of games from those companies that you could buy individually through the Xbox 360 marketplace, but they compiled them onto these discs. Of course, there's other ways to play those games though, so it's not like you'll never be able to play them again without those physical 360 discs, but it just is something interesting to keep in mind. And thus I've been exploring the 360 library a little bit more. It's been fun to kind of discover different games for it that I didn't know existed, because growing up it was like known as the first person shooter machine, although really when you take the time to get to know it, it's certainly much more than that. But yeah, that's certainly the good old Altered Beast, if that's what you're looking to play on your Xbox 360. We got the Ancients of Ooga. We should play a game where like we try to predict what genre each one is before we click on it. Like this one, like I didn't want to predict it was a platformer because yeah, there's one thing that the 360 is void of. It doesn't got too many of them 3D platformers. Like it looks like it could kind of be a platformer. It looks maybe more like a puzzle game of sorts. Where's the description anyway? That's like, disclaimers. You can't have modern games without disclaimers. No, really, like, where does it actually tell you anything about what this game is? Oh, I think there's a details tab. Oh, okay. From the creators of Cloning Clyde comes a new epic adventure. It doesn't. It's not much of a pitch if you don't. If you're not familiar with the first game. Maybe I'm the only person who didn't play it. But there you go. Classic platforming puzzle solving with a novel eat, carry, puke inventory management component. Sign me up for that. But there you go. So it does have some platforming in there. Again, I'm probably passing like all the best games. Okay, Arkanoid. I gotta click on Arkanoid. Let's see. What does Arkanoid look like in the year? What year was this released? Where can I find that out? Probably missing it right now. Oh, and then there's like even there's DLC for like Xbox arcade games. Okay, well there's the screenshots. That's like right out of the the original Arkanoid. Yeah, so these are just levels from the original game, but with like an HD touch up. Yeah, that's so weird. I had no idea they just like HDized. Oh, well that's different. Okay, so maybe that's like the DLC. That's not what round 6 of Arkanoid looks like. Okay. And then, of course, we all know how that ends. All right, interesting. All right. And again, what were they charging for Arkanoid Live? $10 for HD Arkanoid. So when it says Xbox One down there, I'm guessing that means like if you buy it, you can play it on your Xbox One as well. I'm also familiar with the Xbox Game Pass these days, and I think a lot of these are like available just to play for free if you have that subscription on your more modern console. But as I mentioned, 360 is kind of where my nostalgia ends in regards to the Microsoft line of consoles, and I don't foresee myself ever getting an Xbox One or any of the iterations that come after that. So that's why I figured I'd just buy some stuff to maybe play on this 360 from time to time, and that could be pretty fun. But okay, that's the letter A. And it's like the weirdest layout for letters. Have they never heard of like like a grid instead of like a really long rectangle? But apparently, I'm sure they had like a crack team of scientists study the optimal way to design a menu, and that was somehow what they came up with. But all right, proceeding on. We got Band of Bugs. Wow, who needs Banjo-Kazooie when you got that? So Banjo-Kazooie, again, I know that these two games are available if you have that Game Pass on a more modern console. And even there was the Retro Rare Replay, which is like super cool. But unfortunately, again, on Xbox One and not a console I can see myself picking up in the near future. But I think it'd be really cool to have them on my 360 to play whenever I want. So let's do it. Let's show some love for the old classic platformers. How's this gonna work? I got the money, so hand over the game. All right, we got $50. We're going to be losing 15 of that. Let's confirm that purchase. And there you go. That's what it looks like to buy a game on the Xbox 360. Look at it go. Downloaded there a whole 50 megabytes. Who would have known Banjo-Kazooie was so massive? So yeah, I just really think that the concept of playing it in widescreen HD is pretty cool. It didn't just get the Super Mario 64 Mario 3D All-Stars treatment, just slap it on there, not making it a better resolution or anything like that. But no, this I think will be really fun. And yeah, I definitely plan to live stream not only this one. I kind of think we're just gonna let it finish so that nothing accidentally gets interrupted or corrupted. And there we go. But yeah, not only that one, but we're also going to be buying this guy as well, because people have been asking me for years to play Banjo-Tooie. And look at the screenshot they use. Like, we should go back and look at the screenshots for the first game as well. Like, just the most random freaking screenshots. Like, who, I wonder, like, again, that crack team of scientists getting together and deciding which parts of the game they're going to show. Honestly, these last few actually aren't too bad. But those first few, it's like, what was up with that? Okay. I agree now. I mean, okay, that's kind of a weird choice. It's so red. That is the weirdest freaking choice for a screenshot to advertise your video game. Why are they all from Witchy World? I reiterate, why are they all from Witchy World? and then suddenly, Cuckoo Land. I don't know what they were getting at there. Yeah, we're definitely going to go back and look at the ones for the first game as well. But okay, second purchase of the day. Let's go. And there you go, pretty much twice the size of the original. And I think it will hopefully keep downloading even if we do this. All right, yeah, we got to go back and see just how Banjo-Kazooie 1 is advertised. And already it's like, it's not even Banjo or Kazooie in this photo. I mean, technically, but not really. Okay, they're kind of up there. That's a cool screenshot. Okay. Inside Clanker. At least they're not all from the same level, although I might regret saying that. That's 2 from Clanker in a row. Okay, like that's a great screenshot. Okay. All right, so whoever did the screenshots for this one knew a little bit more about what they were doing, I guess, although we're kind of getting overload on Freeze Easy Peak here. Wow, yeah, they're really doing like all the different levels. We just need like Click Clock Wood now, and we'll be complete. All right, opening cutscene. Sounds good. Hey, okay, that's Grunty's lair. I was going to say Rusty Bucket Bay, but no. I mean, that's kind of almost Rusty Bucket Bay. That's like, look, compare the person who made these screenshots to the ones for the second game. Someone who really loved Banjo-Kazooie the first clearly made those. And hey, there you go, Banjo-Tooie. Done. So yeah, a couple of purchases on the Xbox Live Marketplace. Sounds pretty good to me. But let's continue our search here and find even more great games to buy. Again, unless I see something that like really catches my eye, I'm not sure if I'm gonna take too many more chances, but I'm really up for all of your suggestions and recommendations down below. There's so all of you out there who are a little more knowledgeable of the Xbox 360 library, I'd love to hear what some of your favorites on here are. And that's my favorite, when it kind of just spins in place like that. You can't beat that game. But all right, like I kind of had some farming sim elements there, some slice of life, not genres I touch on too typically, but beaten groovy, that's what we're looking for. The classic Bejeweled games. Of course, there was like that the Xbox Live Arcade disc you could get. I think Bejeweled 2 was on that one. So that's fun to mess around with. Those are, compilations like that are always nice, as long as they're not the ones that have gotten super expensive now. Hey, Beyond Good and Evil on there. We got Blade Kitten. All right, what do we got from Blade Kitten here? All right, looks like your kind of action style game. We're riding whatever that is down the stairs. Uh-oh, ambush spoils the whole game. They were best friends since they were 2, but money and greed can overcome anything. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Bomberman. There's always an online Bomberman game, which again, when the servers get shut down, fortunately, they're not too good for that. But Bomberman Live Battlefest. I remember when they used to have events. Oh my gosh, Braid. Okay, we'll get back to that story. Again, I've played Braid on the PS3, 100%, including the stars, and I've played it on the PC, on Steam. Did you know that there is actually a remaster of Braid coming out? It was announced like in 2020, and there wasn't news on it for a while, so everyone thought, okay, maybe it's canceled. Although there was just another announcement on it a few months ago, and it looks like it's finally going to come out this year. So if you haven't played Braid, I totally recommend it. Super fun platformer, and yeah, there's even going to be look, already a Mario reference right off the bat. There's even supposed to be a remaster of it coming soon. So highly recommend checking that out once it comes out, because I know I will be playing that. It's going to be good. But yeah, sometimes it's like maybe it's just like a loading thing. So I press the button to go to the next screenshot and it doesn't. But yeah, it's Braid, everyone. One of the like OG indie games. I absolutely loved it. And I played it on the PS3. All right, we got Taito stuff. I mean, I guess Arkanoid was already a Taito game. All these games that scarred me on the NES now back with new HD forms on the Xbox 360. And yeah, it definitely looks like Bubble Bobble there. I mean, yeah, Xbox, was really the console that, brought online gaming to the mainstream. Of course, it was on the Dreamcast for a bit before that, poofed away. But Xbox original, and then especially Xbox 360, everyone I knew was playing online 360 games, except for me, because I was like the only guy who didn't have one until I eventually got that PS3, and that was kind of my. I got the Wii at launch, but the PS3, it feels like a different generation compared to the Wii, HD and all that. It was so cool. So this is like a compilation of different arcade games, but like do you just buy the base and then you have to like buy the extras sort of thing? Yeah, so you actually have to buy the base game, and then you buy like Ghosts and Goblins for it, or Commando, or See All. So wow, so you have to buy the base for $5, and maybe that includes like a game, and then all these other ones you buy separately. I mean, the generation before this, there was like, Capcom's Classic Collection 1 and 2, where you'd get like 20 plus games, in one sort of package. But I guess if you're just looking to play a couple of these, then this works pretty well. But yeah, lots of great Capcom arcade games, and I guess if you're looking for something like that, this is an entranceway. Yeah, 1943, Gunsmoke, Ghosts and Goblins, of course, the Section Z, I think. I haven't gotten to that on the NES yet, but it's coming. I'm sure it's going to be great. But yeah, there you go. So again, more retro games, in arcade games as well, on the Xbox Live Arcade, which makes sense. Well, look at all the Castlevania we got coming up. But I also want to take a look at Mickey's Castle of Illusion here. So wow, this looks like a remake of like the Genesis game. Weird. Those springs are like right from Sonic the Hedgehog. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, Sega Genesis Classic with all new HD graphics and gameplay. Okay. I'm not sure if that's available on like any other platform. But yeah, check that out if you're into that. All right, Castlevania time. We got Castlevania HD, although it's not actually just Castlevania HD. There's a little more to it than that. We even get like a whole trailer for this one, which will probably get copyright claimed. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. And when Castlevania went Metroidvania, that was pretty cool. I need to play more of them. I have to admit, I've beaten, like the OG ones. I haven't beaten all of the Metroidvania Castlevania games. This looks interesting. More of an action game. Interesting. Okay. Mirror of Fate. I haven't heard of that one. And then, of course, the classic. But yeah, so lots of Castlevania games on the 360. Wow. Yeah, Centipede. Child of Light. What is this one all about? These are screenshots. I thought maybe it was a trailer again. So this looks like it could be like a platformer of sorts. Interesting art style. I've never seen this game. And people are probably going to be like, wow, it was like the best seller, on like every platform for 3 months. Is that like RPG styled battles too? Okay, this is catching my attention. If anyone's played this, I am intrigued to hear more about Child of Light. We had that like Symphony of the Night and all these Castlevania games and Mickey. So yeah, and Capcom arcade games, Call of Duty Classic, like the OG Call of Duty, like remade, of course. I mean, I'm not surprised considering how big Call of Duty was at this time. But yeah, there you go. It's like the original Call of Duty, but on 360 with touched up graphics. But okay, we've got through 3 letters now, plus a number. So we're making progress. We maybe got to pick it up a little bit. Oh, Darkstalkers, another Capcom series. Dead Rising. Dead Space Ignition. I mean, I know Dead Space was big. It looks more of like an animated sort of thing. Death Tank. I haven't heard of too many of these ones. Well, there's Dig Dug. Hey, I can always point out Dig Dug in a crowd. Looks like just literally the arcade game Dig Dug. So there's extras here too. So you can buy like a theme or like the picture pack. Maybe we should always be checking. Like, what if Banjo-Kazooie had that? We never actually did check if Banjo-Kazooie had any DLC, which I hope they didn't. Like, yeah, you know what? At $15 only gets you like the first level. So like, I like how you can just download the trailer for free. Thank you, Microsoft. You are so kind. So, like, are you telling me that like avatars don't come included with the game? You figured they would just be bundled with it, or maybe you do get them with the game and like you could buy them separately here. Because I definitely want some Banjo-Kazooie avatars. That's what we're talking about. So if I don't end up just kind of getting them when I start the game up, then maybe I'll have to download, buy those separately. But it's worth a buck or two for some Banjo-Kazooie avatars. Okay, stop and swap trailer. So yeah, there's the stop and swap between the two. Well, I clicked the trailer. Oh, and then you just download the video? I mean, yeah, sure, I'll download a video. Why not? Because yeah, they kind of reinserted the stop and swap features if you have both Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie on 360. And I think there's even some crossover between Nuts and Bolts as well. And we'll talk about that far into the future. But yeah, it's cool that they added that back in. And yeah, I'm gonna download this video, you bet. And that's that video is right between the size of Banjo-Kazooie 1 and Banjo-Kazooie 2. But yeah, you do that. Or I guess, yeah, now we should actually be checking, like, you know, this section every time in case there's anything free. Weird. Maybe the... Okay. We'll do that from now on. Because I don't want to miss out on any cool free stuff. It's my favorite price for things. But yeah, D... Like, I'm sure these are a lot of great games, just not ones that are jumping out at me in particular. Is Dogfight 1942 a ripoff of, like, the Capcom 1942? Because that'd be kind of cool. No, it's third person from behind from the looks of it. Interesting. What else we got? We got Domino Master. Cool. Oh, Double Dragon 2. Like, these are, like, the classics, but, like, remastered again? Oh, that does not look anything like Double Dragon 2. I clicked the right game, right? This is supposed to be Double Dragon 2, apparently. Yeah, I remember that part of Double Dragon 2. Oh, yeah, when they go through the desert. That's my favorite part of the NES game. And outside, like, the old saloon. Yeah, okay, this is not Double Dragon 2, but I will still check to see if there's like free avatars or something. No, there's actually not even any downloadable stuff for this game at all. So to Double Dragon fans, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Double Dragon Neon. Is this more like the Double Dragon we all know and love? Well, they completed the stage apparently. Oh, they're like in space now. Well, that's pretty neon if you ask me. I guess they're going in for like the high five there. Oh yeah, that guy. He was always my favorite Double Dragon character. Okay, I mean, it looks a little bit more like a beat-em-up game. Okay, it looks a little bit more like what you expect from Double Dragon, at least, I guess. Oh my gosh, DuckTales Remastered was so good. I really enjoyed it on the PS3, and it's on the Wii U as well. Of course, I think a lot of stores it's not for sale anymore. I think Steam's a big one. It was on Steam for a while, and then like the rights ran out. So this is one way to get your hands on it before it disappears. Of course, there are some physical discs of it out there, but they're naturally becoming harder to find now because people are grabbing them up, knowing that again, this was like either that physical disc which had a limited release, or the digital versions which clearly aren't going to be around forever. But yeah, great game. Absolutely great game. Definitely play DuckTales Remastered if you hadn't. Had even like new levels that weren't in the NES one, which was really, really fun. And that's like a whole $15, but worth it, I think, if you're a fan of the older ones. Yeah, Dragon's Lair. You can't go wrong with Dragon's Lair. It's a classic game. Actually, I guess you can go wrong with it if you're playing the NES version, which we beat on stream. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. So it shows shirts and stuff. Like maybe that's for like your Xbox 360 avatar. I haven't really thought too much about dressing that guy up all snazzy. Like I was like, oh, free, but no, the trailer's always free, of course. They will never miss an opportunity to advertise to you. Don't worry. Oh, okay. So we got some Duke Nukem going on here. Classic Duke Nukem action. What are they charging for good old Duke? $9.99. And this looks like a case of, they didn't widescreen it or anything. It's just, we're putting some borders on the side. Everything's going to be blurry as heck. But you know what? It's Duke Nukem. So who really cares? It's going to be fun anyway. So yeah, you got that on there. This was the generation when Duke Nukem Forever finally came out. I had a friend who would just talk about that like all the time. Like how much he was anticipating it. And then it finally came out. And it was like, He wasn't that friend who, it was circulating a lot on the internet at that time. Someone had like a receipt where they pre-ordered it in like the 90s. But he was still really, really like waiting for it for a really long time. You got like Echo the Dolphin, of course, a classic on the Genesis. And that's kind of what it looks like you got going on there. I remember these exit games. I remember they were big at the time. Or maybe big might not be the right word, but they kind of seemed to pop up all over the place. Or I could be confusing that with a completely different series. Giving Exit more credit. But no, I think that game was around. All right, all the classic pub games from Fable 2. My favorite. Far Cry classic. Yeah, a lot of that's what the arcade was going to be, was fighting Vipers, bringing those older games back. And I guess that's it gives that bar at the top, so when it's like a classic game from something else brought back. Maybe it's not as consistent of a thing as I thought it was. I'm probably going to pass something really good. But again, I'm open for you to post comments down below. I'm very happy to come look at anything that I might have missed. So yeah, here's that example of, Konami having arcade games on here, like Frogger, for example. I just, yeah, it's like, there you go with that one. Frogger 2. I laugh if Frogger 2 didn't even look as good as like Frogger 1. Yeah, it's definitely like a different art style, that's for sure. I remember there was like, 3D Frogger platformers for a while there, which is pretty neat. Fusion Genesis, what is this? I'm up for some good space battles, preferably if they're shmups. It's hard to get a complete grasp of what you're getting into with some of these screenshots, but I'll take their word for it that it's pretty good. But yeah, $9.99. A lot of games tend to be like $10 or so, $10-15. You don't find too many cheaper than that, it seems. Guilty Gear XXAP. These games always had like the most overdone title. Well, yeah, if you're into fighters, there's that one. We got Galaga Legions DX. Okay, you've intrigued me. I've been asking for more shmups. Let's see if this game delivers. Okay, well, there's a legion of dudes coming at you for sure. Oh, this game is really over the top. I don't mind. I like bullet hell quite a bit. I'm always up for some Toho and all that. But it's when like you can't even tell what's going on in the screen that I'm like, okay, maybe we should step back a little bit and reevaluate if there's perhaps too much going on. But again, the $9.99 price tag, I'm not overly surprised about that. I remember Geometry Wars was very popular. It had its fans for sure during this generation. These games might have been exclusive to the 360, but again, don't quote me on that one. But yeah, they seem pretty cool. And $4.99. Okay, so you got Geometry Wars not busting your wallet, which is nice. All right, Goat Simulator. That's what we're here for, everyone. Let's go. Guardian Heroes. This was... Let's see what kind of game we got going on here. Yeah, it seems kind of like a beat 'em up style, like Golden Axe-ish beat 'em up maybe. Okay, interesting. It's like Gauntlet meets Golden Axe. I could dig that. Although I don't know why sometimes the screenshots are picky like that. But yeah, for $5, why not? Oh, there's Gunstar Heroes. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Classic Sega Genesis game, but it looks like it's literally just the Genesis game stretched like really, really wide. I wonder if it actually plays like that. Is it that ugly and blurry when you play it on the Sega, not on the Sega Genesis? No, on the Sega Genesis, it's like, nice and crisp pixels, depending on the TV you're playing it on. But yeah, that's certainly good old Gunstar Heroes. And for $4.99, you can play it on your Xbox 360 and Gyrus. Oh my gosh. All right, now there's a name I know from the good old NES days. I'm so fascinated by like the arcade versions of NES games that I've beat, but I haven't like ever played the arcade one. And wow, yeah, so Gyrus on the arcade, that's actually kind of cool. I am intrigued by Gyrus. It was a fun game, and it's $5, which is good. If it's like a re-release of an arcade game or something. I definitely overpaid for the Banjo-Kazooie games. I'm sure there's a lot of comments down there about that already. $15 a piece for games I have on the 64. I can play one of them on Switch Online and such already. But I'm really excited to try them in HD. I think that will be a lot of fun, and just give the experience a bit of a different vibe after playing the 64 version so many times. All right. Oh, Hexic is so fun, and Hexic is actually like a free thing. I think Hexic is free. I know I already have it on my console, but like if you don't have it for some reason on yours, I'm pretty sure that's a free download. Hexic 2 though, man, does anyone else remember MSN Messenger, or changed to Windows Live Messenger at one point, and you could play games against your friends? So we can get like a free Reindeer Holiday game pick. I will take you up on that offer. Please. For a whole 108 KB. Let's do it. So it's not really a purchase if it's free, is it? But yeah, you could play like Hexic against your friends. You could play Minesweeper Flags and Checkers. Oh, I spent so much time just playing stuff on MSN Messenger. That was so fun. People who didn't experience MSN Messenger or Windows Live Messenger don't know what they're missing out on. Go blame Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook killed instant messaging services. Oh, those were the days. And again, it brings me right back to this time, right back to this era that I have so much nostalgia for. The 360 is just such a cool thing. That's, it would have been cool to grow up with. What kind of deterred me from it was, even though all my friends had Xbox 360s, Hydro Thunder was always a cool looking game. Might consider getting this one. Did this have like a physical as well? I know some Hydro Thunder did, like on the N64. But okay, yeah, $15. We'll certainly think about that one. Hydrophobia. But yeah, all of my friends who owned an Xbox 360 had at least one red ring, sometimes multiple. And I was just not wanting to deal with that. I was kind of like, I'm going to hold off and we'll see what happens. And eventually the Slim came out, which is much more reliable. It's what we're playing now. But before that, the PS3 started to look more appealing. The price was dropping on that, so I ended up picking up one of those, and that was kind of my HD console of that generation. But still, I really enjoy going back to see the 360 today. Ikaruga is, of course, a shmup, so right what I'm looking for, on the GameCube, so I'm probably not going to buy it here since I have it for that. But yeah, if you're looking for some good shmup action, and you don't have the GameCube version, good to know it's available on the 360 for $10. I mean, fair enough. GameCube version definitely costs more than that. And there you go. We got the Islands of Waifus. Let's check that out. And there's the island. Actually, it's not really much of an island. There's kind of a chasm there. There's something. And that's it. But okay, Jewel Quest. Well, I like jewels and going on quests, although it does look like one of those kind of, see, a lot of these would just kind of become iPad games later on. Like this would be a, 99-cent download on your iPad. Actually, probably not even. It'd probably be free with like a billion ads. Yeah, I've seen this somewhere before, but yeah, it's on the 360 if that's what you're looking for. We got Joe Danger 1 and 2. We got Joust, classic arcade game. What is Joe Danger? It has me intrigued. It must have been good enough to get a sequel. All right, he's standing in front of his bike all impressed like. He's kind of ride the bike. Yeah, there was a lot of games like this back at that era, where you'd be like riding a bike and go over ramps and stuff and try not to fall off. That's kind of what it looks like this is getting at. Okay, this could be fun for a few minutes, I suppose. But what are they charging for it? $9.99. I don't know if it's $10 worth of fun. But okay, we got Juju as well. What have we got from Juju here? Is this a platformer? Kind of looks like it might be. So yeah, I mean, never say no to more platformers on my consoles. Yeah, it's got platformer written all over it. Very cool. All right, so maybe Juju could be a cool game. Got to look at the star rating as well. What is that, 3.5? So people seem to tend to like it, but $15. Could download the free trial though. Yeah, very cool. I hadn't heard of that one. And then yeah, so let's try and figure out the the labeling. So arcade game. Like this has like a white arcade banner, and this one has the orange arcade banner, which makes it orangier. And then the Xbox 360 banner, that makes me think it's like also a retail game that like you can buy, but no, maybe not. Because it wouldn't be only $15 then. I know one thing when it comes to the achievements is that like the games that are download only would have like way less gamer score. So for all you collecting the gamer score out there, it's going to be so fun. I think it's going to be really cool. Again, another kind of twist on a game I've played a million times. When we play through Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie with achievements, like that's going to be so weird. But I'm really looking forward to that. All right, King of Fighters here. Let's go. What do we got from the King of Fighters? It definitely looks like the King of Fighters on the 360. So if that's what you're looking for, you can grab that. I saw Connect Party was there as well. All right, we're almost halfway through the alphabet. I feel like we've had a few short letters here. It's gonna get really long when we get to like the S and the T and stuff. It's like even L's not that long. I know a few of these I've heard. How is that Load Runner? What the heck is Load Runner about this? Okay. Well, now it's looking more like Load Runner. That's cool. HD Load Runner. Wow. I was going to say, the levels are looking kind of narrow compared to how they usually are. But there's a more of a longer level. Weird, very, very weird. Lode Runner, again, another one I'm familiar with as a result of beating the NES version. It's a fun game. So it's cool to see that kind of got that treatment there. What else we got? We got like Marvel's Puzzle Quest. Everyone had puzzle quests back in this era. Masquerade, Matt Hazard. Ooh, sounds like he means business. We got Max, The Curse of Brotherhood. All right, what is this all about? You've intrigued me. This looks like weird. Okay, so it looks kind of like a platformer, like a 2.5D sort of deal. I mean, maybe not even. Could be like a whole 3D thing. Okay, interesting. I kind of dig this. One to kind of note down to possibly look more into. $15, of course. Creative puzzle solving, action-packed platforming. Yeah, so I mean, there you go. That could be fun. All right, everyone. It's time to talk about Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10. These ones, there's not really much reason to buy on the 360. You can get the legacy collections that are on everything now. I bought 9 on the Wii originally, and when I kind of moved over to playing more PS3, that was when 10 came out, and I think I bought 9 on sale for that as well. So if that ever gets fixed, I can play them on that. But I also have the Switch Legacy Collection just in case I ever desire it. Why is that so zoomed in? Who thought that it was a good idea to like super zoom in on screenshots? So maybe all those other games that look really blurry, they don't actually play like that. Just like what kind of screenshots are these? Like the original Banjo-Kazooie, someone was like, they hired the professional to take those screenshots, and then these ones are just like, they didn't put any effort into that. Or any thought to like, how bad that might make the game look. Now this looks, okay, no, I was going to say it looks a little bit better, but maybe not. There's like Solar Man stage. I liked Mega Man 10 a lot. I really did. There's an achievement/trophy for beating it without taking damage. And I actually got that because of course you can save. And then like if you take a hit, reload from the last, so save between levels. And I just grinded at that for, for a couple of weeks and pulled it off. All for like a silver trophy on the PS3. Wasn't even a freaking gold for some reason. Metal Slug 3. I'm not familiar with Metal Slug XX. I know there's Metal Slug X, which was like kind of a reinterpretation of Metal Slug 2, I believe it was. But yeah, it certainly looks like the third one. And then over here, yeah, I'm not familiar with XX. Wow, we got like the whole RPG Maker menus going on here. I feel like I accidentally went to a different game. Oh, Double X. That makes sense. All right, okay. Well, once we actually see the gameplay, it's looking pretty cool. Maybe it explains a little bit more here. It's the first codename title since Metal Slug X. Okay, we even got people from the King of Fighters in there. Now, this is not a game I was familiar with, but cool to know that it exists. But okay, everyone. I didn't know if it was still on the 360 store or not. Maybe it will actually come out for the 3DS and Vita someday, but it is the classic, the one and only, Mighty Number 9 for $20 whole. This game is more valuable than Banjo-Kazooie, if you can believe it. And to be honest, I backed this game originally. I did the $60 backing. And if anyone's going to be mad about how it turned out, it should be me. Unless, maybe someone who did even more. Some of the options were like you could get an interview or like a private dinner with like Inafune. I think there's been like memes made about that. I'm not sure if anyone has ever actually given an honest talk about what that was like. I'd love to hear about it. But again, as someone who actually backed the game for a significant degree, I enjoyed it. I kind of got out of it what I wanted to, but it wasn't what it was made to look like originally. And I understand that's where a lot of the upsetness comes from. The upsetness. Good English today. Minecraft for Xbox 360. If you want to play that, it's $20 on there. You got the old Monkey Island games. Pretty cool. Monopoly Plus. What could you possibly add to Monopoly to make it plusier? I mean, you even got like Mortal Kombat Arcade, so it sounds like maybe Mortal Kombat 2, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 with online play leaderboards and achievements. So, I mean, that's cool. Adding online play and leaderboards and achievements, of course, to those older games is really, really neat. We're finally just seeing that now with Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch Online service, and we can finally play like Mario parties and stuff online, where if you had, bought them on the Virtual Console or something, it didn't have any online capability. So finally Nintendo's catching up a little bit They seem to be like 2 generations behind everyone else in terms of the features sometimes. So yeah, we got Knights, classic Sega Saturn game. All right, moving along here to the later half. Hope you've been enjoying seeing what's on the Xbox 360. Yeah, O is like not a, like you don't think about O being that uncommon of a letter when it comes to titles, but even on the NES, there's like not that many games that start with O. Oh, Pac-Man and Championship Edition, of course. That's definitely one that was included with one of the Xbox Live Arcades. But then there's a Plus version as well. Peggle's a classic. No one talks about Peggle anymore. There was that guy at E3 that one time who was like super excited about Peggle 2.
Guys, that was amazing. Thanks so much. I'd say I was speechless, but I have one more thing to announce. Coming this year, Peggle 2!
I remember playing Peggle on Steam a little bit. When I bought Orange Box on the PC and installed it on Steam, like a free version of some Peggle game came with it. I remember playing that quite a bit. Yeah, Peggle's cool. Definitely don't see much of it anymore. Penny Arcade, I remember reading a bit of that back in the day. I've never really been like a devout follower of any webcomic. I think I was just grinding in RuneScape, probably fishing, because I was like the go-to when it came to grinding for me, or money making. And I was just looking for stuff to do, and I think I read the first bit of Penny Arcade. So I don't really know anything about it. But there it is. I could definitely recognize those guys right away. And then, of course, we got Perfect Dark, because we got to get all the Rareware properties on there after they were consumed by Microsoft. And yeah, there you go. Looks exactly like you expect Perfect Dark to look. Although, again, it's gotten that, the HD widescreen treatment. And that, I just feel like it's going to give the game a whole different feel than when we, when you played on the 64. I'm excited to, try different things like that. And there was, of course, Perfect Dark Zero as well, which I don't think was as well received. It seems like, any games that Rareware tried to make after their jump to Xbox didn't really go over so well, unfortunately. It's always fun to kind of imagine, what things could be like if they had still stuck with Nintendo today. I mean, I know it wasn't their choice, but if they were still with Nintendo, I suppose is a better way to phrase that. Hey, let's see. Maybe we're gonna get like all the spoilers in the screenshots of Phantasy Star 2. No Phantasy Star like 1, 3, or 4 though. Me and how I feel about starting series partway through. Portal's still alive, so I have the Orange Box on the Xbox 360, and that's cool because for a long time it was like the only way to really play those games with like achievements and stuff before they were eventually added to the Steam version, I think. But yeah, it's a cool compilation to have on the 360. This though, what is the difference between this? Featuring a darkly comic story that weaves adventure with brain-bending puzzles, Portal Still Alive introduces 14 brand new bonus puzzles. I've never played this. I did not know that there was bonus puzzles for Portal. Someone who's beats, all the games on the Orange Box. Still waiting for Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Finally there was at least Half-Life Alyx. But I mean, I also beat Team Fortress 2. If you haven't beat it, are you even a gamer? No. Yeah, I loved Team Fortress 2 back when it first came out. And the cool thing about like the PS3 version or this version on the Xbox 360, maybe I think you can still play, that it doesn't have like all the updates of the Steam version. So you can just play like vanilla Team Fortress 2. And I think that's pretty cool. It says Bust-A-Move Live, but it's listed under Puzzle Bobble Live. Of course, got that weird naming going on. Puzzle Bobble's such a clever name after, Bubble Bobble, Puzzle Bobble. I never understood as a kid what the heck Bust-A-Move was supposed to mean. It looks like you get your avatars awkwardly added in on top of like the 2D graphics. It looks so weird. Yeah, this is an odd attempt at modernizing a game that really didn't need all that much modernization. Puzzle Bobble's still fun today. Puzzle Fighter 2 Super Turbo HD Remix. Oh man, those titles that used to get so long with Knuckles, because why not, right? And there you go. It is. I've never really played Puzzle Fighter. You get like Capcom dudes in there. Puzzle Quest. I mean, yeah, this game's on a lot of different things. I should be more familiar with this, I feel like, but I'm not. But yeah, there's a quest involving puzzles if that's what you're looking for, and you get like a sequel and even like a Galactrix Puzzle Geddon. If you like puzzles, they're all in the P section there. PQ comes next. Oh, Quick's interesting. Wow. Okay, here's a few interesting ones. Quick's another game I'm familiar with from the NES library, but this is the Plus edition. All right, it looks like Quick's with pluses on the end. And we got, Quake Arena Arcade. Is this like the OG Quake? Interesting. I mean, obviously there's some differences, but definitely looks like you're getting your Quake experience there. And just since we've checked all the other games in the Q section, we might as well do Quantum Conundrum. What kind of game is this? Well, there's a safe floating in the air. That tells me all I need to know about this game. Floating furniture. That guy's name is Ike, apparently. Like, do they put any thought sometimes into the screenshots that they include? Like, I mean, some of these are nice, I guess, but it doesn't really explain at all what to expect from the game. Like, it looks like a puzzle game of sorts. Maybe you gotta lead pipes from like one place to another or something, or like, are you exploring this mansion? Is like when you arrive to visit your uncle, you know something's wrong. He's okay. No, this is a premise I can get behind. Rescue your uncle. Okay. Honestly, reading the description, I'm kind of intrigued. $10 for that one. Very interesting. All right, the R section. These next few letters are probably going to be pretty long. RBI Baseball 14. They actually kept making them. I beat 1 through 3 on the NES. The fourth one I have for Genesis. I have a lot of catching up to do if I'm ever going to play freaking RBI Baseball 14. There's like some random guy's scoreboard. Wow, and it's funny too, is it really does just look like the kind of classic baseball gameplay on a modern console. That's so strange. And that one's $20 whole. I wonder, like, it might have like actual like licensed characters in there. Modern graphics, 2014 players and all 30 MLB teams. So yeah, having to pay for the licenses and stuff is probably where most of the expense to make that game came from. Now, is this a shmup? This is most certainly a shmup from vertical and horizontal orientations. Okay, interesting. That is Radiant Silvergun for $15. We got Rainbow Islands Towering Adventure. Rainbow Islands on the NES as well. Super cleared that one, and wow, that's such a busy screen. Like, the background is so busy. It's kind of hard to see what the foreground is, or maybe it's just me. But yeah, it looks like, and I got like, why is that even a screenshot? It has nothing to do with the game. Anything free we can download from that one? Does not look like it. We got Rascals, interesting. Okay, kind of. We got like platformer and puzzle elements combined here. It looks like maybe simultaneous multiplayer, co-op-ish, competitive too, maybe. Okay, $10, cool. Rayman 3 HD. Again, I'm not a fan when it's like there's one game of the series, but if I was ever to play this, you have to play 1 and 2 first, of course. Like, I can't imagine many people are gonna, run to download Rayman 3 if they haven't played the other ones. But okay, there we go with Rayman Raystorm HD. We're getting into like all the shmups now, it looks like. Yeah, look at that. It reminds me of like Raiden. Because it wasn't Raiden, right? It was something else. Raystorm HD. Okay, cool. Very cool. Resident Evil 2. Some tennis there. Res HD. Risk. Okay. Oh, we got Rocket Knight. There you go. That's another name I'm familiar with from the good old Genesis days. Again, though, just like with Mickey, this one's actually a remaster, or a remake even, where, we saw Gunstar Heroes. And that was a game that kind of just got, shoved right onto the 360 with no kind of touch-ups to it. From what we saw, anyway, it's completely possible that it was, very, misadvertised on the store. So Russian Attack, I have not played yet on the NES. It's coming up. I really don't know too much about the game. Looks like here we got side-scrolling action. Okay. I guess this is the arcade version, which I desire to play it after I beat the NES one. Very cool. And it's only a few games away at this point, pretty much ending off the letter R, which we're almost done. Okay, that's R. Here you go, just a couple letters to go. But S is definitely going to be like a super long one. I remember Sam and Max. I remember those dudes. Sanctum 2, but again, another game where there's like no first one, just the sequel. And what kind of game is it? Oh, kind of like in a maze sort of deal. I mean, that makes sense based on the name. Okay, so it's like, is it third person, first person? It seems to kind of bounce between a few things. Maybe it's always first person. It just looks like you're a different character on the screen there. CNET Mega Movies. Interesting. Scramble. That was like a Vectrex game too. So you see, like Sega Bass Fishing, that's one of those ones that was included on that Sega Dreamcast compilation CD. I'm guessing we're also going to see, Sonic Adventures coming up. And look at all this, the Sega Classic games. If there's one thing that really sucks about the PS, the Xbox 360, is that the D-pad is just bad. So like all these games that you're going to want to play with a D-pad, because that's how they're meant to be played, obviously, it just doesn't feel good at all. It feels like it's always going in a different direction than what you're pressing. It's too sensitive to go like up and down. That's one thing I wish was different on the Xbox 360. Was the D-pad. I think improving that could have been really good. But the D-pad is kind of more dysfunctional in games as like additional buttons, like press up to use this weapon or press this button to taunt and such. It feels like kind of how it was designed in mind, like you were never actually supposed to play a whole game using the D-pad, which is definitely an oversight if you were going to have, an online arcade service like this. But yeah, lots of classic Sega games there. We even got Shinobi, another classic Sega game. We got Shred Nebula. You can tell, I like the I like the spacey games. I always like looking for shmups. This one, kind of ish. Okay, very cool. Actually, we should be checking to see if any of these had like free avatars and such. That one doesn't have any downloads. Neither does that one. Neither does that one. And I would say we don't need to check this one because the other three didn't. But this would be the one that had something we could download. And it would be there because we didn't check for it. All right, some other games here. And here we go. The whole Sonic section here. We got Sonic 4 Episode 1, Sonic 4 Episode 2, Adventure 1, Adventure 2, and Sonic the Fighters. So yeah, you could definitely get your Sonic fill from the Xbox 360 marketplace here. Like $5 for Sonic Adventure. It's almost tempting. But the problem with this version, and I actually downloaded this on the PS3, and has that problem there as well, is this one has not been redone to be widescreen to look nicer. It has this awful blue border around it the whole time. What you see there is what you get, and that's really unfortunate. But Sonic Adventure 1 is still such a fun game. Sonic Adventure 2, however, they did a much better job with this one. It's actually HD widescreen, beautiful. I love Sonic Adventure 2. I've 100%ed it on the GameCube and 100%ed it on the PS3. And I always say someday I'd love to do it on the original Dreamcast release as well. But yeah, I could play the Adventure 2 over and over and over again all the time on any console. Such a fun game. And how much was this one? Yeah, this one's naturally a little bit more. It's almost tempting though, just because I love it. And actually, you have to buy the DLC, the Adventure, the battle component. So I mean, that's like an extra $3. I mean, I have 16. I could afford this. But, if I have it on the PS3, it's probably much the same experience. We'll consider that one. What do they charge for Sonic 4 these days? $9.99. It's the same price as Sonic Adventure 2. I'll let you decide which one you think is better. Here's some kind of avatar stuff. Sonic 4. Can you imagine your avatar wearing the Sonic 4 t-shirt? That's one way to get beaten up at Xbox 360 school. And yeah, the Sonic Adventure actually had the DLC as well. The director's cut, yeah. You can download trailers for free. Interesting. Episode 2 is even more. $5. more dollars. $14.99. So I'll admit I enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog 4, 1 and 2 when they came out. Like they didn't blow me away, but I had fun with them. The problem is that the screen was too zoomed in. Like that is like how you play the game. Like why the screen always had to be so close to Sonic. I think that Sonic 4 was originally developed as like a mobile game, and then they tried to make it into a bigger deal than it was ever originally intended to be, and that's why it's so awkward. But you know they're fine to play if you're like really diehard Sonic fan. Otherwise, of course, you know we got Sonic Mania, Sonic Superstars. Now you're much better off going with those. Yeah, Space Channel 5. We got SpongeBob Underpants. Do I want to know? I'm kind of intrigued. This was back in the days. SpongeBob was like super huge. Looks like maybe kind of like a battle game, like SpongeBob Smash Brothers kind of deal. Fast-paced, side-scrolling multiplayer slapstick collect them up. Okay, so it looked like they were fighting each other. Maybe that was just coincidental. I mean, I'm kind of intrigued. There were some good SpongeBob games back in the day. Battle for Bikini Bottom. The movie game was even good. Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. But of course, you also get the Street Fighter games. What's that? Strania. Okay, I'm intrigued. What do we get from this one? This one we got, you know, the first. You know when the first screenshot they show you is a menu, you're in for a good time. Okay, shmup-ish, then robot fighting. Weird. Okay, well, I get a lot of mixed messages from that, and I'm also interested in Storm. What is this all about? It's just like you know, control the weather and make stuff happen. Cool. It's definitely one of those, I guess you gotta read. It's a physics-based puzzle platform game where players use natural phenomena to guide a simple seed to fertile soil. Oh, interesting. Okay, that sounds kind of cool, actually, for $10. There you go. Yeah, Streets of Rage, Strider, of course, another classic. Super Contra. What do we got from this one? There you go. So yeah, it's looking like Super C. But I guess it's like the arcade version. Cool. And of course, you can't have indie games from this era without Super Meat Boy. Again, right up there with Braid, Super Meat Boy, World of Goo. Like some of just the OG indie games. And it's sad that, you know, not many of them are really talked too much about anymore. I think actually World of Goo 2 is like just announced. And again, you know, Braid coming back, so maybe Super Meat Boy is also, you know, due for a revitalization. But yeah, there you go. Super Meat Boy, pretty cool. Switchball. I'm a little intrigued by Switchball. Let's see what we got. Again, I'm sure I'm passing like everyone's favorite games. I feel like I've seen this game before. I think I don't know if the friend had like the demo or if they actually had this game or something like it anyway. But that's familiar. All right. T. What do we got from T? Probably a lot of things here. Oh, we got Tecmo Bowl throwback. Which, yeah, it's it's just like, there it is. The classic game. Like, it has like the retro graphics mixed with like 3D cutscenes. Wait, oh, maybe you can do like a retro mode or like a more modern mode. Okay, interesting. Okay. Tempest. Okay, yeah, there's a classic. Terraria. I really enjoyed Terraria, but I could never find anyone to play with because everyone always wanted to play like, you know, Minecraft instead, where naturally, you know me, you know, Terraria is going to be more my thing. The side-scrolling pixel art, I love it. But yeah, Terraria on the... I have it on the PS3, physical version for the... Actually, no, it's not a physical version. It was like a box I bought, but I think it was still a code that I had to install. And I made a video once where like the game updated and it was broken for like a month until they finally fixed it. But yeah, $15 for it on the 360. Probably best to play that with a mouse and keyboard on the PC. All right, what do we got? The Path of Go. We got Ego in your 360. Look at that. You even get to play with like your avatars out there and stuff. That's cool. That's pretty interesting, honestly. Path of Go for the 360. Nice. Okay. Go watch Hikaru no Go right now. Wolf Among Us. Ticket to Ride. That's like a classic, or not necessarily like classic, but I know it's a board game. Time Pilot. I always remember a place that had the tabletop version of this arcade game. And so the place that had this also had Arkanoid, and I'll admit I played way more Arkanoid than Time Pilot. It was never a game I got too good at, but cool to see. It still exists. No avatar, no screenshots, I guess. Yeah, I definitely want to get some nice avatars. I mean, no, not avatars. Profile pictures. Because avatars like the guy, right? But right now I have the Pac-Man dude, and that came with the Xbox Live Arcade disc I was talking about earlier. But yeah, to get a few more of them would be nice. Hopefully, I just get some of those Banjo-Kazooie ones when I start playing the game. It's so weird that they buy the game, like they still make you pay extra for the pictures. But okay, yeah, Track and Field, fair enough. Also on the NES. All right, very cool. That's the letter T, and I can't imagine these last few letters are gonna take too long. Yeah, like 2 games under the U's. Nothing that jumps out particularly. Got V, Valiant Hearts, Vigilant 8, Vandal Hearts from Konami. Interesting. Can't say I know too much about this one, but it's definitely a name that rings a bell. This looks more like freaking like RuneScape. That's just the Goon. They just literally stole that from the Goonies. Spielberg's gonna be rolling around right now. Virtual Fighter 5, Virtual On. Okay, that's some classic series popping up here. W, what do we got? Well, The Walking Dead, yeah, was very popular around that time. Warlords, that was like an old Atari game. That's where I've played Warlords before. You get your paddle controller out, turn that knob. So it's kind of like you're defending it. Your base there by turning that knob. Okay, interesting. Yeah, see, like that's the classic version. And it's like, look at how everyone's like so into it. Again, I've had friends over before, and we actually played it like on the 360, on the 2600 with the paddle controllers, and it was a fun time. So maybe it'd be fun, playing it with friends on the 360 as well. We got the Watchmen. All right, everyone, this is a favorite of mine. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? But for $10, like I can go play the Game Boy Color version right now, and I paid like $2 for that version. So there better be some really freaking good features in the 360 version. I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be like online leaderboards. I mean, I kind of want to get the achievement for winning $1 million. I think that'd be kind of cool. I would consider it if it was $5, but 10 is kind of a lot for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. To promote 2011 film The Smurfs, the village of Car, Spain. Well, paint it blue. I mean, that makes sense. Cool though, cool. I mean, yeah, I kind of like Millionaire, but I don't know if I want to pay $10 for the 360 version. Wolfenstein, Worms, yeah, of course, Worms is on everything. There you go. How many games do you think there will be that start with the letter X? I mean, there could be ones that are called like Xbox or something. I don't know if there was too many of those though. There are no items. Not one game starts with the letter X. That's amazing. That's awesome. And just put it there for show. Like, there's no real reason to have it there if there's not even a single game. Yar's Revenge. That's a classic one. Oh, it's like this is an NES game, but I guess it was an arcade game as well. Or sorry, not an NES game, but a Famicom game. Looks quite a bit different from the Famicom version I played. Yosumin Live. What is that? It's a puzzle game. Okay, cool. I dig it. Could probably be pretty fun. But again, $10. Like, a lot of these games that we would expect to see is like, $3 or $4 apps now. They were all like, 10, 15 back then. Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards back in the day. I never really got into any of the video games. I love the Pokemon trading card game 1 and 2, especially the second one where there's more of like a story. You get to wander around the world and explore it a little bit. This looks like, there's got some story elements to it. Or is it just like a tournament? Almost reminds me kind of like the Beyblade PlayStation game. I'll never forget how hyped I was. Went to Walmart with a friend one day. We saw that, brought it home, put it in. We're hoping it was going to be like the show. And it's just like you do a few Beyblade battles and that's it. But I mean, there's obviously a lot more depth to Yu-Gi-Oh! Than Beyblade. But I love my OG Beyblade, so don't even go dissing that. And I guess that takes us to the final letter of the alphabet, unless they've added any more since I last checked. There's probably going to be something like zoo something, or I can't. There's going to be a couple of games that are with the letter Z. We've got Zeet squared. And this is like a shmup-ish. It looks like. Okay, pretty rad. Xenoclash. Zombie Driver. And there you go. The last game is Zuma's Revenge on the Xbox 360 Marketplace. And there you go, everyone. We just went through the entirety of the game selection on the Xbox 360 store. Check it out soon before it closes in just a few months. See if there's anything on there that you want to download. And please, 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 if there's anything that caught your eye or anything that you know is like, a smash hit, please post them down in the comments, and I'll be happy to come back to the store and check them out again. So there's also going to be some other stuff disappearing, I guess, like, access to the avatar shop. Like, what can you buy? What can I buy for my dude? Let's go to just for a laugh, for a couple seconds, let's go to the avatar store here. Because, I really had my eye on that Sonic 4 Episode 1 t-shirt, but okay, let's see. So game styles. What does that mean? So like you can like open up these. It's like wear from these games. So let's see. What does a Bomberman apparel look like? What? So like where does the plush go? Like you hold on to it, sort of thing. I actually don't want to buy it. Is there like a preview option? I mean, that's cool. We got like shirts, of course. Like if I just press X. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I like that. But like, how do I get back? Like, I like really kind of got out of all that, huh? I guess we go back to here. Okay, so that's cool. It's cool that you can kind of preview things before you buy them. Then I like that. I hope I didn't accidentally just purchase that. Okay, it still says it's $2.99. I mean, the Bomberman hat's kind of. Oh, if you just stay on it for a minute, okay, then you kind of get to test it, I guess. It doesn't seem to work with the. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I like the Bomberman shirt. It's like OG NES Bomberman. All right, what other games can you buy apparel for? So that's nice. Instead of having to go through like each game individually, it kind of lets you see which ones have it right off the bat. I noticed there was nothing for Banjo-Kazooie though. That's unfortunate. You got Dead Space apparel. You got Disney Infinity stuff. Doom. I mean, that could be kind of cool. What do they got for Doom? You just have like literally the Doom head, just a gigantic Doom guy head. That's definitely over the top there. Got the chain gun, a Dragon's Lair. You got some Duke Nukem Forever. Oh no! If you want to, show everyone that you purchased Duke Nukem Forever, I guess you can do that one. Halo stuff. Naturally, there'd be a ton of that. Connect Sports. That's the game I want to show everyone that I play every day. I actually haven't tried Connect Sports yet. Maybe it's like the best game ever. Metal Gear Solid stuff. A Peggle. Show how much you love that game. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Some of the things I would have liked. Not really seeing them having much merch. But yeah, there's the Sonic games. Okay, so yeah, we looked at the Sonic 4 stuff. Sonic Generations might actually have some better Avatar stuff going on. Let's see. Classic Amy Rose Avatar costume. That is what we came here for today. I gotta see this. I have to see this. Is it gonna preview that? Is it actually gonna preview that? Or like the Sonic Avatar costume. That's funny. I was not expecting like full body. That's weird. That's really weird. But just the fact that it exists is also really kind of cool. And Supersonic, of course. Interesting. Interesting. And again, you get like the Sonic 4 stuff. That Sonic one. That's the Sonic one kind of. How much was the Sonic one? I'm kind of like as for the lulz. I'm kind of debating it now. $3. Would that be the best $3 I ever spent? I don't know. Maybe. And there you go. And you can get Zumba, the best. Okay, so and then you can do like all, like what else is there under all? Like lifestyle collection. What does that mean? Weird. So these are just like different like themings. Oh, so even like anime and stuff. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm happy we looked through this. Because again, I'm guessing this is all gonna disappear as well. The cat collection. Cat Dance Fever. Yeah, so, oh, is that a head piece? Oh my god. Well, there's that. Man, he is just, he's happy. He's dancing all day. Okay. We got Disney stuff. Disney Park. So that's interesting. Or maybe Disney Parks was like a game. And there was that Universal Studios game on the GameCube, which was pretty funny. We got Disney Park themed stuff. Oh, DuckTales. That's what we're looking for. Give me a giant money bag to hold. You know, it's pretty slow, and yet it's somehow still faster than the Nintendo Switch eShop. Look at that! These full costumes are so weird. Like I dig it, but at the same time, it's just weird that they exist. I was not expecting that. Launchpad costumes, like full body launchpad costumes. Scrooge. All right, I got Scrooge McDuck costume. Here we go. This is gonna be the weirdest thing. Any day now. It's gotta be the long side. That's funny. How do you turn this? That is freaking funny. It's $4. A whole dollar more than the Sonic onesie. Okay, here we go. What else we got? We got Halo stuff. Yeah, there's lots of variety here. I'm actually impressed at the variety. You know, avatars weren't the thing that existed back when the 360 came out, and then they saw Mii's. Everyone eventually ripped off the Wii. Oh my gosh, we gotta have motion controls now. We gotta have insert Mii equivalent here, and they found a way to capitalize on that, make some extra cash. And I have to admit that avatars are kind of cool. PlayStation also had like the PlayStation Home thing, and that was fascinating too. But they really they ditched that pretty close. And okay, SpongeBob. So what does he do? Like, you can just literally own SpongeBob. Like, I thought maybe it'd be a plushie like the one we saw before, but no, this is just literally SpongeBob exists in your in your vicinity, and he runs around and does stuff. That's weird. And Patrick apparently breaks into pieces. I don't remember that happening in the show. Again, I'm 3 seasons of the movie kind of guy. I'm one of those. I like how you can see the seam in his head where it breaks apart. And there was like always that piece still laying on the floor, which was kind of weird. Krusty Krab hat's kind of cool. That is a cool idea for like an Avatar thing. What is this? Plankton? Like, so I'm reading the Krabby Patty formula, and then he comes to like steal it? That's freaking neat. Just whack him with it. Just whack him with it. Okay. I mean, okay. That's one way to get it done. And what's the SpongeBob costume? That's funny. That is funny. Oh no. I thought that's where B was. So please do not actually buy it. Please do not actually buy it. Darn Nintendo putting the B button where the A button should be. Oh, we got a good old Gandalf costume there, I'm sure. And that was fun. And there's the zoo I was talking about. That was fun. That was actually a lot of fun. Oh yeah, so like One Piece has got stuff. You'd be like, all your favorite One Piece characters like Luffy and all the other guys. There's the cat collection. But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of stretching this out now. I think that was worth looking through. I hope that you'll agree. Avatar stuff as well. Don't miss out on it. And yeah, 360 is cooler than I think some people give it credit for, even myself included. Again, growing up, I appreciated it. I had fun playing it at friends' houses. I don't know. There's part of me that wonders just how different life could be if I had grown up with a 360 instead of a PS3. That wasn't meant to rhyme, but it was pretty clever, don't you think? Okay, so that's the Xbox 360 and all the commercialism encased within. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, not my usual content, but when the Wii shop channel was closing down, I did a full tour of that as well. So it felt kind of right to do something similar here again as well. Plus, I'm just not as familiar with the 360 and all the games that were on there, so I really look forward to hearing some of your recommendations and just hope that you had fun going through all that. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to Banjo-Kazooie in the future. I hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks and take care.